Ahem! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Early Late Nights, the show that brings you the latest Australian gaming and esports news. Please welcome your host, the lovely, the great, Mr. Ciaran Marchant. Thank you very much. I'm just gonna. Oh, the lights are turned on. My announcer paid him not enough. Got a new one today. Did not turn my lights on for me. Took a bit. Welcome to Early Late Nights. It is me, Ciaran Marchant, here once again to bring you the latest Australian gaming and esports news. And I'm excited. I hope you're excited. It's been another weird week. It's been another weird week in the country of Australia. But the gaming has not been affected by it. But please note there will be no spills of power here on Early Late Nights. There will be no Dylan Blight showing up, no Nicholas Pryors, and definitely no Ashley Hobley showing up on the show to overthrow my power as host with the most on this show. Hope you had a great week. It's been a really fun week. It's been a great week. I have kind of been back into the Dota 2 esports scene. It's been great. Watching the International 8, which has been pretty much every day this week. It's nice to have reruns when I come home from work to chill out. It's really good to know that even though I don't play Dota anymore, I can still enjoy the presentation of the International 8, the casting, the panel of hosts. Just the general atmosphere and the environment of the game is still fantastic to watch. So it has been super fun to be watching that and to really enjoy it as the players battle for something like $24 million. It's fucking ridiculous. It's in the closing stages now, so stay tuned. It's a good time to jump in. If you want to jump in and start enjoying it, I would. And also, Wednesday night, the big reveal, the Korean event for Overwatch for it was like a celebratory event with Jeff Kaplan down in Korea himself. There was the new Overwatch animated short. Overwatch has been doing some fantastic work with their animated shorts for the game, which is very exciting. It's just released its latest one with Diva being the main character of it, being the only character we know featured in this one, which was interesting. It kind of focuses more on the relationship they have, as well as with, her other squad mates in the mech team. There's a couple other mech pilots that's really awesome. And it was interesting to see their take on her and the effects of PTSD, which is a very serious topic that I'm quite surprised was tackled in this short. So, hey, go check it out. Go watch it. I'll be talking about it a little bit and to do with another topic later on today. So please, maybe or blind yourself for that bit. Well, don't blind yourself. Like just look away. Don't blind it. Don't blind anybody. That's a bad thing. Having sight's great. On this week's show, I will be discussing Cyberpunk 2077 and all the news that's come out of Gamescon about it. Destiny 2. What's happened to that game? Where has it come from? Where is it going? And also be discussing the new security updates and schemes going on for Fortnite by Epic Games, as well as the tidbit of the show. We're talking about storytelling in games and how it's told to the mass public, how it's told to everybody, how the story is brought to you. I'm looking forward to that topic. It's very interesting. Let's jump right into it. If you haven't been following along, Gamescom 2018 has been happening in Germany this week. We've had all of the action coming straight live to us. Check out explosionnetwork.com for all of our news stories from the event. There's been some fantastic things. Comes graphics cards. We had a whole array of just new technological developments. And of course, we had CD Projekt Red there in the show to give us a little bit more about Cyberpunk 2077. But when I say us, I mean the beautiful people of the media, not the general public. So it was built up, and it's a little disappointing. I'll be honest, it was a little disappointing. It was built up by their social media that we've got something cool to show you at Gamescom. We got really awesome things happening. There's going to be more news coming about the game. And then when it comes out, there is 3-4 screenshots / artworks released to the public, and then media get a hands-on with the game demo for about an hour. Well, not hands-on even. They get to instruct somebody else to play through it with what choices they were making. Bit of a drawback. So there's no footage of this come out as of yet. There's no actual video of what's happened in this demo. It just talks about it, and it's a change and a more complex version of the E3 demo that was brought out during E3 that various people have played through. Once again, we have not seen. And it's interesting. So the media were allowed a 50-minute uncut, hands-off demo of the game where they were to sit with a CD Projekt Red member who would follow their instruction of what choices were to be made in the demo. And it was interesting. It was really interesting to see that we had this kind of this change, and somebody got to see the in-depth. And apparently it started with character customization. They showed in the E3 demo you could only play as a girl. In this one you had full character customization of this character called V. And the interesting point for me is the character creation then had actually kind of like roles, bonds, like determinations, like, you know, things that motivate them. Motivations, that's the word we're looking for. A lot like D&D does in character building, or a lot of other role-playing games for the tabletop versions, where they talk about the personality of the character, the person behind that character. And I found that really interesting. I'm really happy to see that that's going to affect how the character plays. Maybe it affects dialogue options. Maybe it affects what you have access to in the game a little bit. That's really interesting. And then it carries on to the opening scene after your character awakes from a night of debauchery. And it uses this moment to display your character, no matter being male or female, waking up beside a male partner, showing one of the LGBTQA, I did just double check I was getting that right, relationships that could be taken part of in the game coming forward. And it's interesting this has come out now, especially with the recent issues that CD Projekt Red have had based on their Twitter account, their social media, released a tweet that was quite offensive to members of various gender-based communities. It was good. It was kind of a good thing for them to include this. I don't know if this was included no matter what. Maybe it was, but you know, now it's put in a way that's framed it in the matter of what's happened on their social medias. So it was good to see it. Apparently there's a whole range of characters that can be love interests for your main character, but not everyone is based on gender role. They can both genders or whatever, multiple genders will be able to interact with them, which is a really cool feature in a game here in 2018. And it was really cool. The best thing about the demo that media members had to talk about was the fact that it had that good old-fashioned The Witcher style consequences to the mission. And if you haven't played The Witcher 3 or any of the other Witcher games, try and maybe go, even if you don't want to play, go through and watch a playthrough of the game or watch part of the game, because Witcher has this very interesting way, and CD Projekt Red have this very interesting way to deal with consequences on a quest, where it's not always black or white. There are lots of shade of grey with the outcomes, you know, that there's a quest, for instance, where you have to return, you get asked by a ghost to return her ashes to the man she loved, because she forgives him, apparently, from a mistake he made that led to her death. So you take the ashes, you take the remains over, and you talk to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no worries, I'll bury them, I'll cherish her, whatever, blah blah blah." You walk away, and as you leave, there is a loud scream. There's a cry. And it's your choice to go back. There's no quest. There's no forcing of the motions. There's no kind of railed. You go back and you experience. The ghost has turned into an evil ghost and has killed the man. And it's quite interesting to see that. Dylan, thank you for joining us. But he's just said, what's the consequences for never finishing The Witcher 3? I don't know yet. I guess I could not finish it. It's on my things to do, is to finish that game eventually at some point. I'll finish it before Cyberpunk comes out, maybe. Could be a thing. But it's great to see the evolution of the game, and it's great to see those choices coming back. The range of choices that people have discussed from the mission that they played ranged from providing information to people during the mission, how that information is then used throughout the rest of the mission in regards to a credit chip that has a virus on it. Does the virus get removed? Do you tell them that there's a virus on it? And then how that affects other characters coming out of it when they leave, they encounter somebody that was using that virus chip for the benefit of their employer. It's super interesting to see that development, and it's really good that we're still seeing CD Projekt Red's coming through in this game. I'm super worried of this game falling into the plot hole of being too much like other sci-fi shooters. And you know what? I don't know why I'm worried about this. I have no idea why I'm worried about this, because it's fucking CD Projekt Red. I don't know why I have this worry. Part of me is like, is this going to be too much like Deus Ex? Are we going to be feeling too much like other sci-fi games with this being a first-person shooter? But hey, wait and see. We'll see what happens. I'm super excited for it. I wish there was more for the public to see coming from Gamescom, but hey, we've got to take the media representatives' word for it at the moment for how they felt. There's a lot of positive. I haven't read anything negative about it. Whole lot of positives, so it's really great to see the game develop and coming along. We'll see that sometime late next year or maybe early the year after, but it's still a little while away. We'll still have more time to see more of the game before its release, but keep it here on Explosion Network to hear any of the latest news about it. Now, Destiny 2. If you're around on the Explosion Network for Destiny 2, I was in love with this game when the game first came out. I was head over heels in love with the game. I enjoyed it. I smashed out hours upon hours on the first week. I smashed through the storyline. I started doing my extra stuff for gearing and for the raid. And then I did the raid. And then I just dropped out of love with it. There was nothing more for me to do. I couldn't be bothered putting more time into the game when there was nothing more on the horizon. Since then, there has been 2 expansions and another one one expansion and one on the way. September 4th sees the release of Forsaken, the next expansion for Destiny 2. And this one's interesting. A lot of people, if you speak to somebody in the Destiny 2 community now, there's a lot of good things to say. A lot of good things to say about Destiny 2, about its evolution, its story, its player base. The problem is, it didn't learn. Destiny, you did not learn. And Activision, I blame you. You did not learn. You have goddamn Blizzard in-house. You have Blizzard in your house. And you could ask them questions about building an MMO. Ask them. Don't do what you've done again. 2 times now. 2 times Destiny has started, come out, been cool at the start, then had nothing in the endgame content. People fell away. People weren't enjoying it. Most of the player base has now dropped off. And now it's coming to a point in the story that it gets really, really awesome. And it's rewarding the people that stuck with it. But those people should not feel like sticking with it is a bad option. Those people should not feel like sticking with it is a waste of time, or that they're not getting anything out of it. They're enjoying the game, their love of the game. I can guarantee people are coming back. And it's a little bit sad to see this is coming. You know, Forsaken's coming out. And they're doing the trope. They're doing a traditional trope of getting rid of a character. Well, not getting rid of. I'm not going to say getting rid of. They are putting the life on the line of a character that is beloved by the majority of the community. Yeah, that fucking sucks. Sucks a lot. It's just typical that, you know, the thing they do to bring people back is to threaten the life of a character that everybody loves, you know. Everybody loves this character. Time to put them in a bad situation. Looks like they're going to die. Awesome. If you want to go check out on the Twitter, if you're not interested in the game or you're on the fence a little bit about Forsaken, if you actually go to the Twitter for Bungie, and Destiny 2, they have actually released a full cinematic from the game that is at the start of the expansion. We'll see exactly how this goes. But it's pretty predictable. Looking at it, when Cade 6 was so featured in Destiny 2, his character being voiced by Nathan Fillion, the lines he had, the kind of character arc he had with the rest of the team through 1 and 2, it was kind of obvious that Cade 6 was going to be in some trouble. Kind of a You know, he was already in trouble in Destiny 2. You went and found him and saved him. And now this, and then it's a little predictable. It's a little bit like, oh, okay, you're doing this trope. You don't need to turn to this trope every time. Tell new stories. Don't tell us the same story time and time again. It's really not what we want. And the question that many people are asking, is there going to be a Destiny 2? 3. There is Destiny 2, Ciaran. Be quiet. Okay. Destiny 3. Is there going to be Destiny 3? And I think definitely, Destiny 3 had... Destiny 2 had enough player base when it began. It had enough people to pick it up. And it's got enough of a player base still going to justify having Destiny 3. I beg them, please, Bungie, please, Activision, Blizzard, go take over or some shit. Go send somebody to infiltrate them and teach them the ways of an MMO. Teach them what to do. Because it just makes me sad. Makes me really sad, everybody. Makes me so fucking sad. But let's hope that Destiny 3, like I said with Destiny 2, let's hope Destiny 3 learns its lesson. And gets its shit together, because it's got a long way ahead of it. Anyway, Fortnite. I don't talk about it much on the show. My hate for battle royales has died down, because the hype for battle royales has kind of died down a little tiny bit. I'm not reading about it all the time anymore. There's still news articles, but I'm not scrolling through pages of shit about Fortnite and fucking PUBG and whatever. Fortnite is reigning supreme as the, all-time fucking big daddy battle royale, with games now spanning across all consoles and platforms, including mobile phones, with the new Android version released, even though that was a clusterfuck of, we're not going to put it on the Google Play Store because we're going to get around their fees by just putting it on our website. Fucked if I know. Weird as shit, but the development of the game and the changes they've made to the map and the gameplay has been fantastic. The problem is, Fortnite is taking up the place of the largest game on the planet currently. It is one of the biggest games, with the biggest player bases, with the biggest adoption rate of any game that's currently on the market or on free to play. Yet, its security fucking sucks. If you have ever got an Epic Games account, if you signed up to Fortnite early, you're probably like me, and every now and then you'll go into your email, quite regularly actually, and you'll see an Epic Games email saying, hey, maybe change your password, somebody's tried to break into your account. Awesome. Fuck yeah. Great. Good job. And Epic Games is now trying to combat this. They have recently come out with a initiative to reward players for setting up two-factor authentication on the phone by rewarding them with a special emote that you can only get that way. Which is cool. It's a good idea to incentivize it. It's a really good way to get people to join the two-factor authentication method. But the security on this game should be much better than it actually is. I should not have to receive fucking emails all the time about my account trying to be accessed by somebody that isn't me from a different place. That's fucking nuts. That's crazy that that's happening in today's society. You are one of the biggest games. You're making one of the most profits of any gaming companies at the moment. You need to invest some of that in gaming security for your players and for yourselves. You're free to play. I get it. You're not the full game. It's the Battle Royale. But still, do it for your players. Do it for your fans. Let them be empowered and let them feel safe putting their card details and personal details into your game's account management system. We've already seen it happen with the clusterfuck that is the PSN network. We've already seen it happen every now and then with Xbox Live. We're probably going to see it with Nintendo when Nintendo's online service comes out in the coming months. But you need to try and put more time and put more effort into it. It shouldn't have taken this long for you to promote two-factor authentication in your game. You should do a lot more for that safety of your players' personal information and for where they stand on the gaming climate. What do you think about Fortnite security? What do you think about gaming security in general for your personal information? Do you feel happy with putting your personal information into it? Give me a shout out in chat if you're in chat at the moment, or let me know via Twitter at your boy Ringo or at ExplosionPod for the Explosion Network's Twitter. Get involved with the conversation because that's what we need, and you need to show Epic Games that hey, this is what we deserve. So please, do it. Tidbit of the show time. This is the bit where I get to talk about whatever the fuck I want. Doesn't have to be the main news story. Doesn't have to be a big news story. Just something that I've read that I enjoy and I want to bring to you. This week, interesting article pops up. I believe it was on Eurogamer. It was on. And I'll link it in the description and later on the chat. Discussing how the current state of World of Warcraft lore and character identification with its players, especially around Sylvanas the Forsaken Archer. A lot of people are pissed with the character at the minute. She burnt down the world tree. A lot of people who are Horde players are saying, nah, it's not my shit. That's not my Horde. Not my Horde right there. Not my Horde right anymore. I'll take off my shoulder pads like Sourfang and I'll be good. And it's interesting because then it's commented by writers from Battle.net from Blizzard that, hey, you guys don't know the full story yet. There's still a lot for us to tell of Sylvanas' story. Maybe there's something that's happened that leads up to this point that we don't know yet. And there's people now who have changed factions, who have stopped, have changed the look of their shoulders so they don't have any shoulder armor on. A whole bunch of shit's happened. But the community's in outrage because, Sylvanas, that's not my Sylvanas, she wouldn't do that. And people are worried, as I've mentioned previously on the show, that this is going to follow a trope of character becoming bad because they're in the Horde and going mental. Much like Garrosh Hellscream. But what is the factor that a lot of the writers have already said, and some people in the community have said, well, if a lot of the community hasn't done the effort there was a collection of short stories and 2 books released, 1 book for each faction, released just before the release of Battle for Azeroth to lead into it. And in those books, it contains information and lore and story that fills in some gaps, that fills in some of the overall perception of the World Tree event, fills in some of the character events that happen lead up to it. And so, you're a bit confused. It's like, wait, so people are missing a whole section. People are missing stuff that you've released in a book. And I've heard this before, and I've heard this many times. And we're getting to the point now in games where gamers are expected to go out and collect as much information or to consume as much information about a game as it was. And this used to be a big thing. Star Wars had this whole extended universe that you could go out and collect the books and read the books and learn about the extended universe. But if you came back to the movies, if you just wanted to watch the movies, you still had a very good time. You still knew what was going on, but the books were there to enhance you. And now games have gone to the point where it's like, okay, we're going to give you the game, but if you want the full story, if you want a whole filled in, you have to go over here and get this other thing. And some games do it fantastically. Some games, not so well. And this is what I want to discuss and talk about. Why I've got the animated short of D.Va from Overwatch on the screen currently is that I really like the way Overwatch does their character lore. Even though they don't do enough of it, I'm going to flat out say they don't do enough of it. We need Zenyatta lore. We need a whole lot of lore for our characters. But they provide character lore through these animated shorts that they release every 6 months. Depends what time of year it is. And then also we get it through comic books, and we get it through graphic novels, and we get it through all kind of stuff. We don't get heaps, but we get enough. And it is, Overwatch, you take it as it is, you like the characters, you can play the game, no worries. If you want to learn the lore, go grab all this crap over here, read it, get into it, learn it. Now for the fucking misdemeanor of this kind of shit. Kingdom Hearts! I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, Kingdom Hearts. We have Kingdom Hearts 3 on the horizon, everybody. That game is coming out January or February. I think it's January. Game's coming out. Looks good. But it is operating on the fact of expecting every one of its fans not only to have played the main 2, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, the main 2 installments of the franchise, but also every one of the Game Boy Advance games, the DS games, And also all these, like, these fucking little things that happen, and this little short movie that came out. They're building on that fact that you've done all of that. And it's like, what? How? Like, even if you went into Kingdom Hearts 2, it's like, oh, you'd know a lot more if you'd played some of the minor games. And it's really cool. Look, I'll admit, it does reward fans that play every game. There are a lot of fans that couldn't afford a DS at the time when the DS came out. And it has come to the point now where we have every collection of all the games been released at 2.8, just in case there was some extra shit we missed. Has since been released. And it's a bit all over the place. There's a big character that you would have seen in the trailer, at the end of the trailer. You would have no idea who that is if you've only played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. No idea. Nunzos at all, those. If you go and try and watch just all the cutscenes, or go and try and watch go read what's happening, you have no fucking clue. No idea what's happening. The storytelling that they try and tell across 8 games is fucked. It's all over the place. There's this JRPG kind of element going on to it. It wasn't Mickey. No, Lord Empire. It was not Mickey. You know Mickey. Ho ho! We're gonna go save the king. Ho! That was a really Australian Mickey, everybody. I'm so sorry for that. But we've got this now taking part in the action, and it's a matter of storytelling and perspective. You have to be able to tell your story in a way that the people that have only got the main installments of the game still feel involved. But at the same time, rewarding people with little nods, rewarding people with little bits of action all the way through that is a throwback to something else that happened in the minor series. I think this kind of storytelling is both really good and kind of bad. If you're expecting your players to now do Pommy Mickey, ho-ho! Shine your shoes, Governor! Ho-ho! Did that for you, Nick. But we've got to the point where we have access to so much, and there's so many games released, and there's so many TV shows to watch, there's so many movies to watch, there's so many books to read, and all I do is play Overwatch. But that doesn't matter. So much of this stuff, and yet companies expect to take a larger share of your attention to enhance their games. It's not the greatest. It's not the best. It's not the best way to be, but it's still good storytelling. I'm still glad that companies like Blizzard, like Square Enix, Blizzard again, go to the extent to tell the stories. That was a good Mickey. I know, Mickey's kind of my thing. I do Mickey every now and then. But they do really good stories. It's just the way you tell them needs to be a bit more thought out. That brings us to the end of the show. Thank you very much for tuning in for Early Late Nights. Please follow us on our social medias at Explosion Pod on Twitter, at YourBoyRanger for my own Twitter, as well as Explosion Network on Facebook. That'll pop up and you can go join in the chats there. Join our Discord down the bottom of our Twitch page at twitch.tv/Explosion Network. There's a little Discord button. Choose that. Jump in. There's some good conversation goes on. You'll also get announcements about all of our products that we release. Check out our website, explosionnetwork.com. Go see all of our news articles, our fucking random music playlists, our podcasts, our videos, and also be a part of Games Done Slow 2018, which we are being a part of. That made no sense. Be a part. Don't worry. It's fine. It's all okay. I'm just panicking quite a lot. But it's cool. Anywho, go check out, see all the dates, all the times, doing a 24-hour stream. If you want to tweet at us, what games you want to see played. It's a whole range of things. It's to support the Checkpoint organization who works with mental health issues with youths. And we're going to do a fantastic job and raise as much money. So if you can lend some money, go check out all the goals. If you want to see me record live from PAX Australia 2018, put in your money. Get good. Give good to charity, everybody. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. This has been episode 44. I've been your host, Ciaran Marchant, and you're going to have a great night. I fucking hope so, at least. Have a good one.